Hi guys, it's Chris from DAXtrader.co.uk and I'm going to do a wrap up for the DAX technical analysis for the 15th of December 2014. Okay, so hope you guys have had a good day today. There's been a huge downswing today, which I'm sure a lot of you have been catching and riding. Just wave after wave after wave of selling, and a good 200, nearly 300 odd points to catch. In fact, 300 points to catch on the way down. Quick summary for my own trading today. Poor overall. I didn't catch anything this morning as soon as the market opened, and we caught that initial sort of intraday bullish run, which sort of was capped up here about 96.80. That's about as high as we managed to get today, and from then on it's just been a selling spree. In terms of my own trading today, let's take a quick look. Visually, I've got the numbers here. So what are we looking at? Minus 37, minus 36. Minus 72. Caught a decent little wave here, 85 points. It took me back to, what, 13. A couple of additional losses, 37 there, so take me down to minus 24-ish. And then 11 there, take me to minus 13. And I've got 13, 14 points at the moment. So pretty much break even for the day. So DAX, for me, today has been disappointing. For this entire swing down, I was out of the office, so I couldn't get any of that. I had a couple of shorts here and I thought I was happy with the 85 points, but you know, if I'd have continued with that, would have got a lot more. So didn't take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there, but what can you do? So I have managed to catch a few trades on a few other markets. In fact, one of them was by pure fortune, really. I entered a rookie mistake, really. I went to try and do a particular size of trade, didn't put the decimal point in, and it entered into a trade 100 times bigger than I was expecting, and I was quite embarrassed. It turned out well, but unfortunately, as would be the case so often, that can go wrong very, very easily. Unfortunately for me, it didn't. So I'll take that as I'll take the positives from it, and overall the day for me has been quite good. Oil has been quite lucrative, and there was another pair, I can't remember. Gold's been quite good for me today as well. There's been a few trades that I've managed to catch out of, so I managed to get trading up here. I've just taken little pieces of it off throughout, and there's various other times where I managed to trade on it today as well. I believe that I've done quite well. So overall, not too bad. So going back to the DAX, if we take a look at what's happened here today, I mean, we were trading around about VWAP for earlier on, sort of just before lunchtime, and compressing up into a range where also often happens with the DAX is that when you start oscillating around VWAP, you tend to find you're going to get some sort of breakout, and it tends to be a decent amount, and especially in its current bullish run, bearish phase that we've been on, you could perhaps have predicted that it was going to go down when you take a look at some of the other markets as well. So that's exactly what happened, and we took a 300 point nosedive down to the 93 level, where we pretty much held just about, I think we got to 92.99 as the low, and we're now looking at perhaps maybe even retesting that again tonight. I mean, I certainly didn't expect us to get down as far as this. We passed the daily S2 today, passed daily F1, just destroyed it. I haven't had a look at the volume profile. Let's just get out of this for the moment. What am I looking for here? That one. All right. So that's the volume profile for today. So the rolling 24-hour VWAP is way up here at the 95 level. Don't know if we're going to trade up as high as that, but price does like to try and get a little bit close to that before the end of the day. We're obviously still sat on this selling signal here, which didn't correct when we had the mini pullback before the nosedive. Huge amount of low volume down here, and I'd imagine, you know, it's easy to be wrong here, but I'd imagine that this is going to be the second distribution now down here, and I can't see us trading above the 94, which is why I went short. So this might well be our area, which means we're going to have this quite significantly big low volume area here, which could prove, well, you'd imagine that the underside of it's going to prove fairly resistive for now, but if it do break through that, it could well just slice through and get straight back up there again, up to around about the 95 level before coming back down. So that will be interesting to watch tomorrow. We've already tested it, and were rejected from it just a few moments ago. Well, half an hour ago. So the daily chart, let's get the daily chart back up in just a sec. But before we do that, this is the weekly pivot, and we're trading down at the S1 at the moment, the weekly S1, which for a Monday is quite a long way down. The weekly S2 91.76 is certainly a target for this week. This kind of rate, we could be taking that out fairly quickly. And of course, we must start posing the question soon. You know, is this the end of this bull run? And I'm starting to lean towards maybe yes. Maybe we've had a premature Santa run, and we've had the run already, and there are some serious fundamentals out there to suggest that this might well be the end now. But again, I'm still not 100%. I'm still fairly neutral. I'm just going to trade it intraday and trade what's in front of me, basically, without having a sort of a longer-term bias. But I mean, just a basic fib that you got pulled from the swing low to swing high suggests that a 50 fib level could be the 92.20 down to the 90.15, so the 9,000 level. Anywhere in there, you would suggest is going to be that larger correction phase before, if you were going to continue to move up. A few areas of resistance above us now. We've got the weekly pivot, and we've got this lower trend line from this recent move up. So looking to retest that perhaps before if we did have a much larger reversal. So I've been making the video. We've gained a few points on here. We're going to just see what happens with it and wait a little bit longer. So on the daily, let's just maybe clear this chart up a little bit first. I think I'll just leave that as it is. I've got an entry here which I might look to get rid of. Okay, so on the daily chart, things are looking heavily bearish, and the start of the day was maybe looking fairly normal. We had a big sell-off on Friday. We were maybe going to correct a little bit before a continuation of the move down, but it's just gone ahead and decided to forget all of that, and I'm sure a lot of investors have been either stopped out or been caught off guard with this, because they would have gone long, left their trade, possibly not even set stop loss, and you know, see you later. We're down here now, 300 points later, and they're in a bad spot. So yeah, if we look at some of the other major markets as well, I mean the SPX. There was a guy that posted out a couple of pitchforks earlier on, a pitch with a couple of pitchforks suggesting, I mean, they were intersecting each other, suggesting that 1980 was going to be a particular area of interest to watch a bounce from, and that's almost exactly what it has done. So we'll see where we go from here, whether we're going to continue a bounce up or just slice straight through that again, maybe tomorrow. The FTSE worries me a little bit, not only because personally there are investments out there in terms of share holdings, but more so just because of just how rapid a sell-off this is. I mean, within the last 6 days, we've taken out 500, basically 600 points off the FTSE, and yeah, that's quite a steep sell-off. And if we look back at the last time we basically shed 600 points in a week, wow, we're going to have to go back a long way to find that. Is that maybe one here? So it's been quite some time when this has happened. So quite a rapid sell-off. So of course the area of interest right now is going to be this low here, back on the 16th of October. But it's interesting because when you look at the DAX, at the 16th of October we were way down here at 8,300, 8,083.50 or whatever it was. And we're not even halfway there from the highs at the moment. So for the FTSE to, well, basically are halfway there, I suppose, but the FTSE is almost at that level again. So there's this huge divergence between the DAX and the FTSE at the moment. The SPX, I guess, is something similar. I mean, where were we on the 16th of October? Where, yeah, even bigger divergence between the FTSE and the S&P. I mean, that hasn't even got down to the 50% level. So it's a huge concern, really, as a British investor in British stocks, on the FTSE as to what impact that's going to have. So yeah, the DAX hasn't quite corrected the 50% level of this yet. So the FTSE's gone way past it. So a little bit of a concern. Oil is another interesting one. I think that the OPEC, when the OPEC came out and said they're basically not going to intervene, even if the price of oil gets down to $40 a barrel, it makes me suggest that this is just going to be a free fall, continued free fall through, at least down to 55, and perhaps even going to go even further than that and go and test the 50 level. But I just wonder how long it's going to be before somebody's going to start stepping in and not particularly enjoy the fact that all of this money is being taken off their balance sheets, or out of their economy if we're looking at the wider fundamental side of things with certain countries. And somebody might actually look to, what it is they can do, who knows, but somebody might want to look to come in and do something about these prices. Fairly soon, in the not too distant future, I'd imagine this is going to be a pretty interesting position to go long for a much longer swing trade when you consider just how far we've fallen in the space of a couple of months. I do remember when I first started looking at getting involved in trading oil when it was up here around about the $100 a barrel. When you look at how far we've dropped now, shed pretty much 50% of the value. It'll be a nice trade to continue that back up very soon. So that's been what I'm watching, and for tomorrow I think we're going to see much of the same. I can't see anything specifically that's going to affect what's happening at the moment on the wider fundamentals. We've got some interesting financial data coming out this week, and of course we've got FOMC as well. But I think for now it's definitely a seller's market, and I can't see where the buyers are going to be jumping back into this. So we're just going to be watching the volume, and we're just going to be waiting to see those massively high volume days for a possible indication of where we're going to start to head back up again. So that's pretty much it from me. I'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll continue with our videos. Good luck trading for the rest of the evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.